The topic of today is the loss of raising up a godly child, or loss of raising up godly children. Number one thing you want to know about raising up godly children is that children upbringing is not a spontaneous thing. It's not a spontaneous thing. Most parents don't know that when it comes to raising up godly children, they have to be intentional and they have to be purposeful. They have to be purposeful, intentional, and systematic. But most parents, they don't do that. What most parents do to raise up their children, what we call upbringing or raising up children, is what I call chaotic. Just chaotic screams and shouts of orders and rules and regulations. So these are just, emotional outbursts rather than upbringing. To really raise up a child or to really raise up children, you need to be purposeful about it. Let me tell you now. Let me tell you what that means. Like how do you? I think you understand this. What most parents do raising up their children is mainly to, be shouting to the child, "Oh, don't do that. Do what did I tell? Don't do that. Why are you doing that? I told you not to do that." No, beat them, smack them. Why are you doing that? Go there. Don't go there. Go there. Stop. Sit down there. Come and greet your father. Go and greet your brother. Go and greet uncle. Say hello. Good morning. This. And when the child does something wrong, they beat them and shout, "What are you doing? Come and help mama. Bring this thing. Bring that." Just chaotic, unorganized, unorderly, emotional, instinctive, and ordering and dishing out of orders, but no real intentional, systematic approach to raising up children. So that model of raising up children that we have is counterproductive. That is not raising up children. That is not intentional way of raising up a child. You don't raise up children just by, occasionally giving out instructions or shouting to or even talking nicely to them. What to do or what not to do. You don't raise up children just by giving out instruction to them when they are wrong or when they are right, or when they are supposed to be corrected, or when they are supposed to be told what to be done. That is not the ideal way to raise up children. So if you want to raise up godly children that their lives will be predictable, you also have to be predictable. You have to be intentional in your actions. You have to be purposeful in what you are in that process. So instead of doing all the shouting and screaming at a child, instead of doing that reactional upbringing of a child, instead of just doing the emotional thing, I think the best way to try to raise up children is to be purposeful about it. The way I've done it in our family is this. Between the ages of 0 to 3, I think the woman plays a more important role because the baby is very small before the age of 3. Either she's being breastfed, or is being under the care of the mother. But even at that, a father must play a role from the very first day of the birth of the child. When your husband, your wife, first of all, let's start from the very moment of birth. I wanted to give you the laws, right? I wanted to start with the laws, but right now let's leave the laws apart. I'm going to come to the laws maybe in the evening, because now I think I must give you general instructions first. So the general instruction, let me just give you these general principles. We'll come to the laws, okay? Because I will deal with the topic thoroughly. It's going to be all week, so don't worry about that. We'll deal with that. But I think I should give you the fundamentals, and the fundamental of that raising up a child. It has to start with even the pregnancy, with when the baby was in the stomach. In the stomach of the mother. So what is the role of a father? Because we know what the role of a mother is. The role of a mother is that she gets pregnant and she has the baby inside. So what should a father do, or what should the parents do to make sure that they take the best care of that child, of that baby? Number one, when you discover that your wife is pregnant, the first thing to do is to rejoice with her, because sometimes children suffer rejection, and that rejection at times could have started from when the baby is in the womb. So for your child not to suffer that sort of rejection when the baby is still in the womb, you need to respond and pass a message to that baby why the baby it just appeared in the body of your wife. So when a man hears about the report of pregnancy of his wife, the best reaction that will be healthy for the baby is that of joy. So the father and the mother must rejoice at the appearance of that child. And the father especially must congratulate the mother, must give her the word of support. And I'm going to tell you what that means. I think I need help. Pastor Natasha, I will need you to help me here. I'm going to play a role here. So let's say this is your wife here. Yeah. Yeah. So, you have to leave behind like that, yeah, so that you'll be able to appear. Yeah. So let's say this your wife here, this is the husband, this is the wife. So your wife gets pregnant. You must tell her and express gratitude to her, and tell her warmly. You must give her warmth and tell her that you are very happy at the pregnancy, that she became pregnant. You must express your excitement. You must express your protection to her. You must give the woman assurance and tell her that this pregnant, it is your heart desire. This pregnancy, it is, what you are waiting for. It is a joy. It is a joyful thing, both for her and for you and for the child. You must put your hand on the stomach of the woman, pray for that child, and release the blessing of a father upon that child. And you must pray for her also, for your wife also, for her, and to give her assurance that, God is going to protect her, that you are asking God to protect her, you are asking God's blessing upon her. The woman is better under the protection of the husband's prayer. The husband's prayer is acting for her as a covering. That husband's prayer is acting as a protection over her, and it's also giving her assurance that my husband has accepted this child. As my husband has accepted me, my husband has accepted the baby in my stomach. So she is comforted. And apart from that, you need to hug her, you need to embrace her, you need to show to her that you are for her, that you are with her, that we are in this together. It's not just her, she who is pregnant. We are pregnant together. It's not your pregnancy, it's our pregnancy. It's not how is your pregnancy, it is how is our pregnancy. It's not you, my wife is pregnant. No, it's we are pregnant. It's not that my wife is expecting a child. No, we are expecting a child. It is we. So you associate yourself with her. You know, as a husband, let her always find out from her 5 times a day. When she's pregnant, 5 to 10 times a day. You must find out, how are you doing? Princess, no, why? Whatever you call her, honey, princess. How are you doing? How is the baby? Let me touch her. That touching, the process of touching has to go in all the time. That is the very first time you realize that your husband, no, your wife is pregnant. You must start by this kind of attitude. That is one. Number two, after you discover that she is about maybe 1 month or 2 months or 3 months pregnancy, not later than 3 months. In the first 3 months, you must make sure that she does not carry. The first 3 months is very crucial. The first 2 weeks and the first 3 months, she must make sure that she doesn't do heavy work. And make sure, as the husband, you have to make sure that she does not do heavy work. You have to make sure that she's not carrying any heavy load, and she's not bending down to carry load or to have anything that demands pressure from her. So you protect her and guard her and make sure you carry things for her. You help her do some of the things that she needs to do. Then by 3 months when she's 3 months pregnant, you must make sure that you register with a doctor or for maternity oversight. So maybe make sure that you go to the hospital and register with the hospital or the doctor that is going to be responsible for the delivery. So all that attitude to the pregnancy, the attitude to your wife, it shows acceptance. It shows that you have accepted her. It shows that you have covered her. It shows that that baby in the stomach is feeling that acceptance. That baby in the stomach is feeling that love. So you are transferring the spirit of love to that child that is inside that baby. You are laying the foundation of acceptance. You are laying the foundation of warmth. You are laying the foundation of fatherhood. You are laying the foundation of covering. You are laying the foundation of being a pillar. You are laying the foundation of being the foundation for that child. You are giving that woman peace, because if you let's say you've not accepted your wife, or you just say, oh, you got pregnant, we don't have money, this is your pregnancy, and you did not give her that comfort, she'll begin to be nervous. Every little thing makes a woman to be nervous. Every little thing makes a woman to be concerned. Every little thing makes a woman to be afraid and nervous and angry and things like that. So irritated. So instead of so if you just leave her like that, that irritation that she's having and that nervousness that she's having, that that unsettlement that she's having is being transferred to the baby inside her. If she's experiencing fear all the time, that fear is being transferred to the baby. If she's experiencing, irritation, lack of peace, lack of protection, lack of security, lack of protection, that all her feelings are being transferred to that child. So that is why you, as the husband, you must put her under such a protection, under such security, such that she's not, stressed up at all, and no negative thing is being transferred to that child. And that's why I always tell women that don't ever marry a poor man. If you have a choice, of course, but most especially if you are living in modern world here in Europe or something like that, don't marry a poor man. But even if you marry a poor man, no matter how poor he is, make sure that you don't go to be pregnant unless the conditions are right. So before you get pregnant, make sure that you have a car. You must have a car before you get pregnant, because I can't imagine my wife being pregnant and she's now, carrying that stomach, and she has to be struggling for transportation at the bus stop or the metro, underground, or or in the bus, or anything could happen when a woman pregnant. I think that if any man really loves his wife, if she's pregnant, even if she's 1 day pregnant, even if she is not visible, I think if you are a caring man, it is only natural for you to make sure that she doesn't go in public transport. It is only natural for you to make sure that she has extra protection. It is only natural for you to guide her, to safeguard her, to watch over her, to protect her, to put your arms around her, and to make sure, to tell her that, princess, you are not going, that transport anymore. Can you imagine she could fall down? She could be pushed. Anybody could, so she has the minimum thing you could do is to give her a car, is to make sure that she has a car, and somebody is there to either, if you don't have a driver, at least you have the car. But I can't imagine her going to public transport with stomach. What about if the stomach becomes 6 months, 5 months, and she has to be, you say, oh, other women are doing it. Let other women do it, but not my wife. That is what I would say. Let any other woman, do anything they want, treat their wives anyhow they want. But if you say you love that woman, if you say that woman is, you are concerned for her, for her well-being, for you have feelings for her, give her the insulation, give her the protection, give her as much care as you can. So that is one thing. Next thing you have to do, from 3 months, you must make sure that she has a medical oversight. From 3 months, she has to have medical oversight. So she is going to see a doctor every month, and not just herself. Don't just send her there. Go and see the doctor. I've arranged it. No. You must make sure that you go with her every time to see the doctor. Make sure that you take her by your hand, you put her in the car, and you say, let's go and see a doctor. She might say, oh, I'm feeling fine, everything is okay, no problem. No, let's go. Let the doctors tell us if everything is okay, if everything is not okay. That's one thing. That's another thing that you have to do. So every month, between the age of, between 3 months pregnancy to the time she delivers, she must be under the oversight of a nurse or a maternity worker or of a doctor, somebody who will be there eventually to deliver the baby. All right. So that's one thing. Then the next thing you have to do all these things, not just about your wife. All these things is about the baby that is coming. You are transferring your love to that child that is still in your wife's womb. So the next thing you have to do is to take your wife, and by the time she's just maybe from that 3 months pregnancy, you begin to go take her and begin to do shopping together, because she needs to begin to wear another size of dress. She needs to begin to look for new dresses, new clothes for her to buy. So you have to be going with her to order, to buy new clothes together. Apart from buying new clothes, you have to also go to her to the shop to do shopping for all the things for the children. You have to buy the cot, or what do you call it? Is it the cot? The bicycle, the little bicycle where you put the baby. You have to buy the clothes that you are expecting. If there are some clothes, children clothes that are universal. When they are born, for the first 3 months, you can still wear universal something for them. So begin to buy, some things for the baby. When you might need to also prepare your home, put everything in the house in order, maybe prepare a different room or a separate room that is going to be like a baby's room. Then when you are like 6 months pregnant, and the next thing you have to do is you have to go and you have to go for this is what I would recommend, at least. Maybe it's not available where you are, but if you're a real man and you really care for your wife and you really care for your children, I would like to recommend you to go for a separate class. In any country, there should be classes. If they are not in your country, you have to start it. You have to go to a class where they do consultation for husband and wife on how to give birth without stress, or how to give birth. No, it's not possible to give birth without stress, of course, with little stress, with much support. So it's a class on how husbands can help their wives during labor. So it's a class on how husband can help. So from 6 months you have to begin. There are different consultations and there are different classes. So you have to be going to to the consultation. How you as the prenatal classes? Yes, it's prenatal classes. So these prenatal classes, don't just allow the woman herself to go. You have to go there with her to support her. Don't say other men are not going with their wives. I have to go to work. No, make time for your wife. Make time that you make her your priority. Make sure that she's your priority. Your wife, your child is your priority. Your wife is your priority. Go with her to those prenatal classes and take all the considerations seriously and make sure that you are showing your wife that you are showing leadership. It is in a time like this, for that 9 months of pregnancy, that a man must show leadership. You must demonstrate leadership to your wife. To your wife. Show her that even if you are slow before, or even if you are lethargic before, or you are kind of holding back before, but now that you are committed, that this is your priority, this is your family, and that there is nothing like it for you. So you want to commit your time and everything there. And then when the pregnancy becomes big, and she's now, like, let's say 7 months pregnant, or 8 months pregnant, or 9 months pregnant, it becomes difficult for your wife to begin to wear her shoes by herself. Can you imagine somebody is pregnant like that? To be bending down to wear her shoes is tough for her. So, if you're a really caring husband, one thing that you have to try to do is to make it a principle that you will be wearing her shoes for her. So, especially when she needs to go out and she needs to wear shoes, so you need to wear a shoe for her. If you are a real husband, if you are a real caring husband, so I know that a lot of people will say, well, why should I do that? I'm a man. Why should I be wearing shoes for my wife? If she's pregnant, she's at a weak point in her life at that time. She's she's vulnerable at that time. She is she's in need. She's in need of your support. She's in need of your care. She needs you to be there for her. And for her to bend down, you don't want her to lose that pregnancy because there was nobody there to wear the shoe for her. So make sure that you are there. Let her sit down, and when she sits down, put the shoe on her legs and help her lace it. That's one thing. Secondly, another thing that you have to try to do most of the time for her is to help her. If you are here in a country like Europe, where we're with the cold weather and everything, you need to help her carry a coat, and then you need to help her wear that coat. I've been talking about winter coat and things like that. Apart from that, you need to help her open the door to the car. You need to help her open the door to the house, open the door to the car. Make sure she doesn't carry heavy things. Make sure she does not carry heavy load, and make sure you are always there with her. Now, that is to some extent. Now, if you are working and you know that you are busy as a husband and you are working, there is no time for you to do all that, then make sure that once your wife, if you cannot do all these things personally, but make sure that once your wife gets pregnant, you immediately employ, maybe not the first 3 months, but after 4 or 5 months, you want to immediately employ. But there are some cases when women, even from the very first month, they begin to have nausea feeling, and they begin to feel bad. They cannot eat anything. They cannot go to the kitchen. And if that is the situation with your wife, make sure that immediately she gets pregnant, you get a maid for her, or you get a help for her, or you get a mother or a parent or somebody, or your mother or your sister, or somebody who is free enough to be there with her to assist her to do all the things that she would normally do at home. So when your wife is pregnant, you want to spoil her with care. You want to care for her so much that she will be spoiled for good. You want to tell her. You want to prevent her from cooking. You want to prevent her from washing. You want to prevent her from doing any of the physical work. You want to just care for her. Just let her be cared for and taken care of. So that's why you must have some, you could, if you have money, employ somebody or bring somebody from the family to be there for her, to help her do all the cooking, the laundry, the washing, and all those things. So that will relieve her from a lot of things. And then that other person also will have to go for her to the market and to the shop to do shopping also, if you will not be there. Because if you are working, you might not be able to do all these things I'm saying. You might not be able to have the work the time away from your work, maybe to be going with her to the hospital or to the shop or to all the things that you need to do. Then get somebody to do it for her. Don't just leave your wife with the pregnancy, to be doing everything by herself, running up and down, and still have to cook, still have to go to the kitchen, still have to do that, everything. Make sure that you save her from that time. Even if you are not such a nice husband, at least be nice to her during the time of pregnancy. At least at this particular time, make sure that you are kind to her, that you are nice to her, and that you are tender to her enough for her to feel that change and to feel that difference. So, thank you, Pastor Martin. Those are just some little things that you have to do before the pregnancy. Because talking about raising godly children, it starts with that support that you have for your wife during pregnancy. And maybe I will need to talk about how to help your wife during delivery. Maybe I should talk about how to support the woman during delivery, during labor and during delivery, before we begin to now talk about how to raise up the children. If I just go ahead and talk about the children, that is putting more emphasis on the fact that the child itself is more important than the mother who is giving birth to that child. If I only talk about, how to raise up children, and I don't talk about what affects the raising up of that child, and the raising up of that child, what affects it is how you relate to the woman, how do you attend to the woman, how you raise the woman. It was a great feeling for me as I was there throughout the pregnancy stages for my wife, for all our kids. Being present in the delivery room is what every man should experience. You will appreciate the woman more. Yeah. Pastor, what about women who fake sicknesses and get so lazy in pregnancy just to get attention, sir? That is very good. For that, if a woman is faking sickness and laziness during pregnancy, that means she is in need of it. She will not fake it if she doesn't need it. If she is faking that pregnancy and laziness and saying she needs attention, it means she never had enough attention when she was not pregnant. It means pregnancy now is our own opportunity to be cared for. Can you imagine for a woman to now have to fake sickness so that she will get attention? It means that she never had that attention. It means she's dying for attention. It means she's hungry for attention. It means, yes, she has to do it. If I were, I'm her pastor, I would tell her to fake it, to do anything she needs to do to get all the attention she needs to get. She needs to get that attention because she will need it during the pregnancy and during childbirth, because she would definitely need it. She would need all the attention she needs. So if she needs to fake it or not fake it, when she's pregnant, whether she's faking it or not faking it, you have to give it to her. Some women cause it for themselves just because they want to get pregnant. I have a friend, she was pregnant and she was alone, not with the father of our unborn baby, so I was helping her sometimes. One day, this lady fell from a staircase. Jesus. Pregnant woman fell from a staircase. You see, that situation, that case of that pregnant woman falling down from the staircase is one of the reasons I was telling you that the man must be there with the wife. And the man must be there with the wife. Hold her, by the hand, give her support, be there for her. Help her do all the things that, she does not have to do by herself. Very true, Pastor. Many males are so ignorant. They prepare to meet the child before he can begin to bond with the child. Rejecting a pregnancy is rejecting a child. Whether or not the child knows it, that child was brewed in rejection, and there is a huge difference. On another note, many have aborted children based on male's rejection or lukewarm reaction. You are so in-depth. This revolution is for singles, brothers, and young couples. The caller K said rejection spirit is a major issue that needs to be dealt with by the parents through what the parents manifest. Parents' attitude and in the way they talk and relate to their children after the children come to life. Pastor, every time you teach, you reveal more and more of the Father's heart. And we are learning to be like him. Much respect to you, sir. Noel Okoshuku, when my wife is pregnant and I'm not around her, I'm always worried. I'm not a superman, neither am I a super rich guy, but my wife's need is my zeal. Very good, you see. He said he's not a superman, he's not rich, but, he puts his wife as priority because he loves the wife. Gift Amos, many African men are the way they are for lack of sound teaching. Churches are not helping matters. I thank God for Pastor Sunday's teaching this. When a wife is pregnant, for me, I think if my wife is pregnant, I don't want her to go to work. And I think that is what real men are supposed to do. Even if the government they don't have maternity leave for the women that are pregnant, but you, as the husband, you must be able to provide that kind of leave for your wife. You must be able to tell your wife from the very first month she's pregnant, from the very first month, maybe from the second, very latest, maybe from the third, she must stop working. For me, I think she has to stop working from the very first month. And, and you have to work extra time if necessary, but not when she's already pregnant, but you are supposed to work before she got pregnant. Extra time to make sure you have enough savings for the pregnant time. And personally, I don't think that the wife should be working to provide 50% of the needs of the family and the husband 50%, or to be contributing so much to the. I think even before she got pregnant, if she was working before, that even if she had to work, that money she was making as a working woman, she should put on her own account only, apart for herself, so that when she becomes pregnant and she cannot work, she will have enough money to do whatever she needs to do apart from the money that you are giving to her. But personally, I think that my wife doesn't even need to work in the first place at all anyway. Either pregnant or she's not pregnant. But when she becomes pregnant, definitely she's not working. Definitely she's not working. So that is very good, Pastor Lola. Now, she said, my husband refused me to work and did not allow me to do a lot of the housework. Very good. Later in my pregnancy, he sent for my mother to come help us from Maryland to California to help us. She stayed from 93 to 2005. They both spoiled me. Very good. That is how a real man should behave. That is what a real man should do. Pregnancy is a project. The man must make out time for the process. Brilliant. I like that. That is well said. Pregnancy must be treated as a project. That is well said. It's a project that must be planned for. Just like you want to do a business. If you want to do a business and you want that business to be profitable, you have to have business plan. You have to plan everything out. You have to plan what you want to do, what goods you want to buy, and everything. So also is with the business. It's with pregnancy. If you apply, if you know, you must plan when you want to get pregnant, what month or what year, what time. I know it doesn't always work out the way you plan, but at least have some plan in place, and plan the budget for it, plan the logistics. Make sure you plan the support system for your wife. Make sure you plan the physical needs, the material needs you will need, the finances you will need, the technical things you will need. Make sure that you actually approach marriage as a whole project, not just the pregnancy, even a whole marriage. Approach it as a project. Your marriage itself, you have to approach it as a project by studying, learning as much as you want to. Even before pregnancy, your husband and wife must sit down together and learn and study books on pregnancy, study books on how to expect a child, what to do when you are expecting a child, what to do before pregnancy, what to do during pregnancy, what to do, what a husband should do, what a wife should do. You must prepare for everything. Everything has to be prepared for, especially pregnancy. So before you even think of getting pregnant, make sure that you buy books on that topic. Make sure that you sit down together with your wife. Not just the wife reading books about childbearing. A husband also must be familiar with those books. Husbands also must read those books. Husbands also must prepare themselves. So it's not just a woman's duty. It is the family project. Both of you are giving birth, not just the woman's giving birth. Both the man and the woman, you are both giving birth together. So both of you are supposed to get prepared and do, go through the preparatory stage. Both of you are supposed to study books on that area and see and make sure that you help your wife to do all the preparatory things that she needs to do with her body, with her health, and with the house, and you put everything together before even the pregnancy comes. So yeah, pregnancy is a project and it must be treated as a project. Brilliant, well said. So Obi is saying pregnancy is a project. The man must make out time for the process. He has to be there. Yeah, because he was there to make the woman pregnant. He was there to impregnate. If you have to make time out for her to be pregnant, what kind of man are you? If you are making a woman to be pregnant, then not to be there when she will be carrying the burden of the pregnancy. He has to be there. He must be not. He might be absent for a short period, but must make arrangement for someone to help with the wife. Excellent. You see, Obi is having the same mindset like I'm having. Is thinking the same thing. And so you shouldn't say Pastor Sunday is just the only man like this. Even if I'm the only one like this, we have to make every other person become like this. We have to make the whole world become like this. We have to make the whole world know, what it means to be man. We don't just take what tradition has given unto us blindly. We don't just embrace what other men are doing or what the society around us are doing. We are supposed to bring the image of God into the picture. We are supposed to bring the picture of how God the Father sees things, how God would have acted, how Jesus would have acted in this situation. We are supposed to bring God's perspective into this. And God's perspective, God's nature is, can you imagine Jesus, when his friends, Mary and Martha, they were just friends with Jesus, and, they lost their brother. Jesus left everything he was doing. He traveled 4 days to get there. He went there to be with them, and the first thing he did when he got there and he saw that they were sad is to hug them and to cry with them. Jesus began to cry with them. Jesus was crying Not that he couldn't raise up Lazarus. He knew he was going to raise him up. He knew she was going to rise from the dead. But, he also knew the psychology of the woman. He knows that the woman does not just need the solution immediately. And it's not the solution that he's supposed to bring right up like that. They need, first of all, emotional settlement. They need to be, comforted, first of all. They, first of all, need to be comforted. They needed to be given understanding and for apathy to be expressed to them. They needed to he needed to express sympathy to them. So he needed to give them that emotional understanding, that sympathy, that express that apathy towards them, and that is what he did. So by crying, he's just showing them emotional solidarity. It's just showing that he's there with them. So if Jesus would be so sensitive about women, I'm sure that Jesus would have treated women better than even that I'm talking about right now. Just like when they wanted to stone the other woman that was caught in adultery, he stood between the woman and the people, the people, the assaulters, the people who wanted to assault her, and protected her. So Jesus has a special consideration for the woman. And if you call a woman your wife and you don't have that kind of understanding, that kind of consideration, it is troubling. It is deeply troubling. So, for example, this my brother that is saying, I agree with most of what Pastor Sunday is saying, but I don't agree with the fact that the family has to have a car, or the man has to be rich to be able to buy a car for the family. And I'm not going to be the one to live in your family. I have my own family. I'm okay. I'm telling you the best thing that is possible. I'm telling you how you could make your life better, how you could make the life of your wife better, how you could make the life of your children better. I'm agreeing, I don't agree. Is it my life? It's your life. I'm not interested if you agree. If you don't agree, it's your choice. But I'm just telling you what you should strive for. Try to be better. Don't just be where life has put you. Don't just, agree with the non-entity that is around you, with what is happening around you. You put a goal before yourself. Target something better. Target a perfect goal. Put a goal, agenda. Put something in front of you. God will help you if you have the goal, if you have the willingness, the passion. If you are not saying, okay, I'm not going to accept this as, I agree with this, or I don't agree. If that is better, if it's going to be good for your husband, for your wife, if it's going to be good for your child, if it's going to be good for your baby, why don't you put it as a target? Why don't you strive towards it? Yes, maybe you are not ready for it right now. Maybe you are not there now. Yeah, but you could put it as a target. Even though my husband cannot stand blood, but he was always there during pregnancy, during my delivery. This made a big difference. Beautiful. You see, even a man that couldn't stand blood, but he was still there during the pregnancy of delivery of the wife. Because that's what a man is supposed to do. A husband, that's what a husband is supposed to do. And I too cannot stand blood. I can't stand blood. But, if I have the opportunity to be there during my wife's pregnancy, I have to be there. Noel says, I wasn't compelled by any situation to treat my wife like a queen. You are compelled by a situation. You are compelled as you are a child of God to treat her like a queen. And you are also compelled to treat her like a queen because she's a child of God. You are compelled to treat her like a queen because she is the daughter of God. And besides that, the Bible compels you to treat her like a king, because 1 Peter 3:7 says that treat her with understanding as the co-heir of eternal life. That is, as a princess. Treat her as a princess, as a co-heir of eternal life, this daughter of the king. So that is compelling right there. So you are compelled to treat your wife as a king, as a queen, as a princess. That is scriptural, to treat a woman as a princess. It is scriptural. It is not just Pastor Sunday's fantasy. This is scriptural. So Noel is saying, I wasn't compelled by any situation to treat my wife like a queen. My wife has always been my zeal. So you are putting a medal on yourself by doing what you are supposed to do, Noel. You are putting a medal on yourself. You are praising your own self. You are making yourself look like a hero because you are doing elementary things that you are supposed to do. The fact that other people are not doing that, that doesn't mean that, the fact that you are doing it, you are beating yourself in the chest, or, I'm doing it to my wife. Now we have to listen to that, your wife. Maybe she's not even as rosy as it looks in your own eyes. Maybe you are not even doing enough yet. I don't disagree that you are doing your best, but, find out ways that you could do better. Find out things that you could do better. If you are going to be busy praising yourself all the time, you are doing this, you have done this, you are doing that, you will not find ways to improve what you are doing. So try to find new ways to even do much better for her. I think the truth just have to be told. If you do not like, if you don't appreciate that, if you think that is off, a man shouldn't help the wife during pregnancy or during delivery, you don't have to respond. You don't have to be there. But maybe it could be a blessing to somebody. So please, let's go and share the link. Let's go and share this link. Let's go and share the message. The message could be a blessing to somebody. Maybe somebody will be helped. Maybe somebody will be assisted with this message. So let's go share the message, please. God bless you guys.